Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming.
Hello, you are listening to Thoughtless Casual Gaming with Brett and Jace. We are one of the top 100 Geelong-based gaming podcasts where we play some games badly and then talk about them. We are going a little bit back to old school, old style.
Kicking
this
it old
episode.
school, back to our roots.
That's
What's it
it.
like being able to see the little countdown? Are we a fan of the countdown?
The countdown
'Cause-
over on the left side, or
Yeah, the one that says 3, 2, 1, go, so I don't have to.
yes, rocket go now. Yeah, look, it'll do. It'll do. I'm still not used to it being on the left side, I must say.
I know they changed the format, and now I'm lost.
Yeah. Let's bring it back. Go back to the middle. Jace, I don't know if you're aware. It depends if you've read the emails in the GCG email address that I
Ooh.
just logged into for the first time.
Doubtful. That's not something I would do.
We hit a milestone with the last episode.
No, I definitely haven't read those emails.
5,000 downloads. Over 5,000. Which means that both of our listeners have listened to each of our 2,500 episodes that we have.
Yes, that's how math. I mean, that is the math checks out, but the facts behind the math.
I've been releasing a whole heap without you.
I see what's happened here.
Probably
Finally,
like
some
5
quality
seconds long.
content. Yeah. Yeah.
5
By the time
seconds of me is enough.
you realize that there's no content in them, you've already listened to the whole thing.
That's it. It marks it down. Spotify counts. But yeah, no, look, this is huge for us. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone. Appreciate people actually listening to this crap.
You people are nuts.
Yeah, which is
Like,
weird because
Get better taste.
look, there's at
don't.
least another 99 better Geelong-based gaming podcasts than us.
Oh, we said we're in the top 100. We didn't say where in the top 100. Like that's
In the top 100 generally means if you're going to say you're in the top 100, that means you're like 100.
Well,
It doesn't mean that you're third.
No, 'cause you wouldn't say that, right? But if you're any amount over 50, because I mean, in the top 60 is a bit weird. Like it clearly is between 50 and 60, if that was the case. In the top 73, doesn't quite have the same ring. So I assumed it was just in the upper bracket. Like we might be 97th on that list.
Oh, we might be. I mean, this list is all in my head anyway. I'm just assuming that there are at least 100 gaming podcasts based in Geelong. Because why wouldn't there be?
No. But even if there aren't, right? Them in their non-existent state is still better than what we're producing.
Not listening to them is better than listening to us. Yes. All right. Agreed. True on all counts. But yes, so thank you to everyone that's bothered to listen to the crap that we spew out with a verbal vomit on an irregular occurrence. There's a lot of words for late at night. So thank you to you guys. Special thanks to our Patreons too for helping us run some competitions, give some stuff away, and hopefully grow the channel a little bit. So I appreciate you guys too. But that's enough patting ourselves on the back.
I thought we were patting them on the back. No, actually, we were doing the exact opposite, weren't they? We were calling them just generally poor.
Poor in taste.
Yeah. We'll stop doing that. They might all leave.
Both of them. We can't get rid of both of them. What would we do then? Who would we talk to? I'm not talking to you. I don't do this to talk to you.
No, pass. Hard pass right there.
Anywho, shall we talk a little bit about hobby?
Let us do that. I mean, I'm trying to work out what I've done since we last spoke and when we last spoke and all of those things. But look, I don't know if you're aware, but there is a certain Blood Bowl Sevens event coming up.
Yeah, I saw that.
It
It's
is,
in Sydney, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also one in Country. No, the one in Country Vic is an 11s event.
Okay.
That's different. But anyway,
Can't
but
be
also,
talking about the Bonehead one because that's already been gone.
I know, right?
Mm,
Did look pretty though.
it did.
No,
Stealing ideas.
absolutely. But the moral of the story here is there is a Blood Bowl Sevens event coming up, and I foolishly committed to doing some hobby things for it. So that has been the lion's share of all the hobby I've been doing for the last however long. So that is the necromantic sevens team that
Mhm.
I put together and have been feverishly smashing paint on, realizing how quickly. But look, the happy news is they are done and dusted and sitting here next to me.
They're actually done.
Yeah,
Because
we've
I
cooked.
mean, last time we spoke, we ran through the players pack for the Sevens event,
Yeah,
and as I said in that episode, they looked done then.
no,
But
they're
you're
done
saying they're
now.
actually done.
Unless I decide to tweak the base numbers again, which is not completely unlikely. But anyway, beyond that, absolutely done.
Okay.
So no, they're done. And then I realized that there is a chance that we could have odd numbers on the day. So
Yes.
if somebody, is driving to the event and is abducted by aliens or has some kind of very fortunate event, because that's all I would ever wish on you people, that means that they couldn't attend, then finally that Nigerian prince comes through with the goods and they have to fly out to collect, then you know what, we might need to step in.
When you say we, it's more of a royal we, isn't it?
I mean, the option is there.
Because if there's two of us, and if
Tis
you're saying there's odd numbers, if we both step in, there's still going to be odd numbers.
correct. So, however, there is 4 games and 2 people.
Well, there is that too.
So, there are options in all of these things, right? But the important thing is here the hero that Gotham needs. So that's a legitimate thing that we might need to consider. And as such, I started playing with ideas for rosters that we might take in the event of such an unfortunate series of events occurs.
When
And
you say you started playing with ideas for rosters, like
I wrote
if
like 476 rosters.
that was before we announced the tournament that you wrote those.
Correct.
You've been planning for a while.
Oh, so many. I think I have legitimately done rosters for every team, just to work out what I could or could not do, and then the ones I liked, I did multiple rosters for to see if I could squeeze some extra love out of them. And then I had to stop myself and realize that we are playing in the eventuality of odd numbers. We're just there to give one player around a swell old time. We're not there to compete for anything. It's so I had to really focus on the spirit of the game and the spirit of the event and what it would take.
So you are preparing said team.
So yeah, I then had to decide. Well, I of course picked a team I didn't have painted.
Yeah, of course.
And so I've realized that I've got like a week and a half to make that happen.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Shit tons. Not even a problem. Look, they're hard, to be honest, they're half done now, so we're good. I've been going. I even got a couple of games in with them to see how they play.
And how did they play?
It is possibly the most fun I've ever had.
Okay.
It is ridiculous. Do we want to give away? Because I can give you a really quick, joyful experience.
Go.
All right. So halflings is the thing. They're fine. You know what makes halflings kind of good? A, inducements, and B, treatment. So we scrapped that idea. And you know the other thing that we can do at Thoughtless Bowl, because somebody wrote a player's pack to allow such ridiculousness, is a giant. And
Now,
you can
go on.
you can max out your positionals. You can take 2 halfling hefties, 2 halfling catchers, none of the trees. I think you can still fit in 4 little halfling hopeful linemen. And with all of the remaining cash, you can put in a giant and
Is it
1 skill.
so? Now, brain is just going into overload here. So, when you say halfling giant, I assume you mean human lineman.
No. I mean Death Zone mercenary giant.
Okay. Now, this is something I'm definitely going to have to read up on the rules for the giants before the
It's
tournament.
really easy. It's not even a problem. The rules are basically non-existent for the giant. It's just a very big player.
And he can't hit things behind him. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. So he has no tackle zones to his rear, which means facing matters. He takes up 4 squares, and so needs to have all 4 squares that he is moving into clear.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, he's another player. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. Like there are your standard rules. He has Mighty Blow 2. He has Throw Teammate and Always Hungry and Bonehead and Multiple Block.
Always
I remember
hungry.
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, multiple block just reduces the strength by 2, doesn't it?
Correct.
So,
but
and
his
what's
strength 7.
Oh, good lord! So he's multiple blocking bloaters,
He's multiple
and croxes, not croxes, sauruses, and
things on 2 dice just by himself. Hell, he's multiple blocking 2 ogres on 1 dice by himself just because he can. Hell, on a blitz he has Juggernaut, so why not?
Oh dear. So, hobby-wise, where does this fall into? Are we painted yet? Are we based?
So, the entire team is on bases. I have added some kind of text just to said bases. They are all primed. I've done a bit of a white sort of value sketch type deal with the airbrush. I've added a bunch of texture. I've added color to all of the halflings. So the giant is still black and white right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I've got time. The halflings are mostly done.
Okie dokie. All right. I'm liking this.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. So potentially the most fun I've had playing Blood Bowl it's stupid, right? So I played 1 game against Jared's Ogres and the giant did giant things and the rest of the team doesn't matter. And then this Monday just gone, I played Ant's team, his Norse team.
Yep.
And on turn 1, so I received. On turn 1, the giant failed his bonehead roll.
Which is going to happen.
It's going to happen. That's the thing. It's fine. It was early. I had space. On turn 2, he blitzed some things, and that was great. On turn 3, he failed his bonehead roll.
Yep.
And then on Ant's turn 3, he 2-die uphill blocked the giant with a Norse lineman and killed him outright.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. My memory goes back to my Beast of Nurgle being up-diced by a dwarf lineman to death.
It was literally, it was like a dodge star and a both down. And he's like, no, it wasn't even that. It must have been just like a skull and a both down. He's like, do you have block? I'm like, no. He's like, I do. Down you go. And just rolled box scars for the armor.
I love it.
It was the best. And then I played basically an entire game of sevens with 8 halflings.
So the lesson we should all take from this is that
Put
if you are
eggs in the
coming,
basket.
or if you are coming to Thoughtless Bowl and you see a giant on the other side, uphill block that sucker.
I mean, the dude's armor 11, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It was the best. And it was like turn 3, the first half. It was so cool. Anywho, so my hobby for this has so far been painting necromantic. They're done. Painting halflings. Look, I'm going to call them 3/4 done. And beyond that, the printer's been going a little bit silly. I did get all of the Brute Fun underworlds.
Yep.
All of them are done now,
Yes,
including star players that I will never use.
But you have the models now.
But it's a rat ogre with a ball and chain. It's so good. So that's happening. I have just started pumping out the Cult of the Lamb Chaos team.
Oh, you got them too.
Yes.
Maybe we need to talk.
I've been just a sneaky little test today, to see how they come out. Okay, moral of the story. So look, between that, as I said, and the rest has kind of been tournament prep. But yeah, I've really been enjoying, because the halflings are literally, kind of slap chop
Mm-hmm.
plus. So much fun to paint. And stuff comes together so quickly.
Now, are these the GW halflings?
They are.
Yeah, because I remember having a lot of fun painting them.
Super fun. And the models are just so characterful.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard not to just enjoy painting the ferret stuff down one of them's trousers. Like, it's glorious. He's got a teapot on his head, and it's so, yeah, they're fun. They're coming together really quickly, and I'm actually pretty happy with them. So it's a win all round, is the moral of the story.
Excellent.
But that's been the primary focus, really. It's been like 99.9% of what I've been doing.
Well, that's not too bad. That's more than me. Look, all I've really been doing, I've had a College of Death on Dungeon Ball team, prepped for ages, ready and primed black, ready to go, ready to be played, ready to be painted. They've been here for months, right? Now that the league that we're running is coming
so close
to an end, we got 2 rounds and 1 extra game to be played, and then finals. Yep. So it's very close to being done. And after that, we're doing just a knockout dungeon bolter. So I thought I should get some paint on these guys. And I thought I'd give this slap chop a go. I haven't tried it. I've used contrast paints various different ways, but this slap chop method, I thought I'll give this a go on these guys. So all of my team is now undercoated and dry brushed and ready for the slapping and the chopping. And I have pretty much done 1 skeleton lineman, and I'm quite happy with how he's come out. Like, a little bit more detail to do on him, and I did end up doing like a little bit of not highlighting, but edge highlighting on him after I slapped and chopped. Yep. And I quite like it. The only thing is I've chosen purple and yellow as the colors, and I'm not sure if that works for undead. I'm just not sure. I like it. I'm just not sure. I don't think there'll be as much yellow on the other guys. So, like, mummies in particular won't have an awful lot of yellow. I don't think the flesh golems won't have much either. So that might be decent. If I take the yellow away, it then becomes, how do I redo this guy?
You replace the yellow with blue and then give him a yellow face.
Why a yellow face? He's a
Because you'll
skull.
be.
He's a skeleton. He's got
I know.
a skull face.
Correct.
Okay. I'm with you now. I should get those models too, though.
Correct. Also that.
Incidentally, while we're talking on this, when are we getting the Masters of the Universe game?
It's supposed to be before Christmas.
Well, Christmas is coming. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my hobby that I've been doing. I have been getting a bit distracted because I did pick up Gotham Knights. And so there's been quite a few hours on that so far. It's decent.
Oh, that's not a
It's-
shining, glowing
No,
endorsement.
look, I wanted more. It's not an Arkham game, which
Okay.
is the end result is it's not Arkham, and it's kind of trying to be, but it's failing. However, I did have a random guy jump into my game the other night, and it was very cool
Oh, because it's
to
co-op,
be
isn't
playing.
it?
It's I think it's up to 4-player co-op, and that was fun. It's just when you get out and you go, you've got your home base, you go out and you do night patrol, and in doing missions on the night patrol, you will progress the storyline, but there are random crimes going on that you can go and beat up or not beat up, as the case may be. And Gotham's quite big, so getting around Gotham, especially before you unlock like the fast travel, can be a little bit tedious. And you get certain powers as you level up your guy, right? So, which is fine and dandy. You know, your superheroes should be pretty cool, have all the special abilities and all the rest of it. But this is the Bat family, and I'm mainly playing as Red Hood, right? Red
Checks
Hood
out.
has this ability. He's really cool. He shoots people. It's great. But he has this ability where he can, when he's, because you normally get around by zip lines, your grapple gun. But when he's in the air, he can press the right trigger to do like a mystic jump. And it just sort of jumps on air. It's like a magic jump in the middle of the air.
Oh,
Kind of, I don't know, like Crackdowny. And it
I mean, I'm getting Mario Brothers vibes here.
Yeah, like it's that. I mean, it's cool and it helps me get to places, and I use it all the time. But every time I use it, it takes me out.
I die a little inside.
It just crushes the soul, man. So Gotham Knights. If you are a Batman fan, worth playing. Also worth probably waiting for a sale. Let's put it that way.
So
Worth
we
playing.
think.
I paid full price.
I mean, I feel like that's in character also.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Batman day one purchase.
Do we
for me
think
anyway.
maybe that the multiplayer is where it shines?
I would think so. I've only had one person jump into my game, and because I'm trying to progress the storyline, and I don't necessarily want to jump into a random person's game in case they're a bit further than I am. No spoilers, please. But yeah, the one or two missions that I did with this guy, multiplayer, really fun, really cool to have two people going. And we got caught in I'm just gonna say like a tunnel of death, let's say, where there were traps all over the place, and
That old chestnut
kept dying over and over and over again. But it only took one of us to get to the end to progress the mission. So we didn't both need to. It was just, reach this point, cutscene, now you're back together, which was cool. So yeah, I died a lot in that tunnel and he got me to the end. Let's put it that way.
That's why having a second player is a winner.
Yes. Give me somebody better than myself, please.
I need somebody to carry this team anyway.
Anywho, that's it for hobby. What we used to do before we got caught up in other stuff is try and play a whole heap of different games and see how we did talk about them
What we
So what
liked,
we
what we
liked.
didn't,
Yeah, exactly.
what the yeah.
So let's go back. We played some games.
We did play,
Hmm.
particularly a game,
Hmm.
but a game was played and it was delicious. It felt like simpler times.
And yeah, it's gotten me in the mood. I wanna branch out. I want to play some more games.
Yeah, I'm kind
It
of
involves leaving the house a bit, which is a bit tricky at the moment, but the motivation is coming.
okay. This is good news. I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't always have to involve leaving the house.
No, socializing is also.
Yeah,
I don't
but
like
there's a
people.
little bit of that. It's no fair call. People are shit.
We had, what do we have? There was 6 of us.
There was. Oh my
Yeah.
god, he does a quick count.
Yep, 6 of us. So we were joined by, so it was you and I, James, Gertzie, Moose, and Alice all got together and played Zombiecide. Now, we've played Zombiecide before, and I'm pretty sure we've done an episode on it before as well.
But what we haven't played is the second season. Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah.
Is it a season?
It is a second season. It's second edition.
Yeah.
Maybe the season is more Blood Bowl. That's why we're getting distracted again.
Who would have thought that's where my head went?
No, you never. Second edition Zombiecide. Now, for those that haven't listened to our previous episode on Zombiecide, and why would you?
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
I haven't.
I did, but when it came out, because I like to see
Rookie.
how crap I am.
I can tell you if you'd like. I'm listening to it firsthand.
Please don't crush me. Zombiecide is a zombie survival game. So
Co-op?
it is co-op, and that is the greatest thing about it. There is nothing better than a co-op game for me. You know, some of the games that we've played the most of, like Marvel United, for example, co-op. You work together. You try and beat the system, like Rage Against the Machine. And sometimes you win, and sometimes you lose, like Rage Against the Machine. I don't know where that's coming from.
When did they lose?
They split up.
Yeah, I suppose.
They gave up. They'd had enough of raging and machines.
But the good ones joined Audio Slave, so it was okay.
It's a co-op game where you are a survivor in the zombie apocalypse. And being the zombie apocalypse, there are
Zombies.
There are an apocalyptic amount of zombies coming your way.
Some would say several.
Some would say, some would have better words. But yes, there are zombies. There are lots of zombies. This is a progression game. So as you are playing each mission, you will gain experience and you will level up. The trick to Zombiecide, which is what makes it fun, is that as you level up, the quantity and or quality of the zombies coming at you each round also level up. So the higher level you go, the more zombies come. And the zombies don't care how many of you are level 2 or 3 or 4.
No. They just going for the head.
That's it.
They understand this concept of just cut the head off the snake. So
and 2 more grow in its place. No, that's a Hydra. As soon as one person goes up a level, more zombies come. So the whole co-op aspect of it takes a totally new swing, because you're trying to level up together.
Yeah. Sometimes you want people to not do things.
Yes.
It's very important that somebody does not do a thing.
Yep. Because if somebody does a thing and everybody else has not done said thing, then all of a sudden there's more zombies and life is more difficult for everybody.
What's the collective noun for zombies?
Zombie?
Well, yeah, but you know how it's like a murder of crows
Oh,
or a
okay.
parliament of owls, I'm like, is it an apocalypse of zombies? Is it just a
Yeah,
of zombies? Is that maybe
brains
the?
of zombies. I don't know. You keep talking. I'm going to look into this.
Yeah, okay, that's important.
That's
So,
very important. Great podcasting.
the moral of the story here is, however many people are playing, you all choose your character at the start. All those characters have some kind of difference in abilities, and that generally resolves in the skill trees that they can have access to. So, as you progress and you level up to the next one, look, everybody gets a free action for their first one generally, and then it starts to kind of branch out, and one character might be more range focused, and one character might be more melee focused, and character might be just eventually heal somebody if they make level 47. So that's kind of the starting basis for your characters. The other thing that they are very good at is theming characters off popular culture. So you look at the characters just out of the base game and you can kind of see the references. And then because it's a cool mini or not game, there is the Kickstarters and the expansions and all of the other stuff that invariably take that subtle nod to popular culture, wrap it around a sledgehammer and hit you in the face with it.
Yes.
Uh,
So Zombicide First Edition had so many extra characters you could play as so many different versions of, I don't know, who have I got? I've got, Miller from Resident Evil, the number of the Big Bang Theory people,
Gordon
Rambo,
Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, you name it, they've done it. Even they weren't done as well because they were medieval based, but the medieval version of Zombicide, like there's a Batman in there, there's a
There
Joker,
is.
there's Tim the Enchanter
Oh,
from Monty Python.
glorious. And one of the abominations, so the other half of this is there are different types of zombies that you can get: regular, everyday, walkie zombies, slightly faster, angry, runny zombies, big, chunky, hard to kill zombies, and abominations. Which, as think of Resident Evil 1, the end bit, you sort of see where we're going here, right? There is an Abomina bunny that is the little bunny from Holy Grail. What is it behind the bunny? It is the bunny. They do that. It's, as I said, subtle as an axe to the head, but glorious in all of the right ways.
There was a rip off of the Great Beast of Ark. What was the word that Donald Trump stumbled over?
Oh,
Confefe or
the
something.
cafe. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Anyway, there isn't really a collective noun for zombies, but if you go by Walking Dead, herd is the most common
I
nomenclature.
I choose not to go by Walking Dead rules, if ever. I mean,
Fair.
I just don't think Neighbours with Zombies is the best.
Anyway, you and your fellow survivors are tasked with a certain amount of things to do in each level or each mission, let's say. And you have to do those things all the while competing with the amount of zombies that are coming at you. And the more stuff you do, the more high up you go on that little level tree, the more zombies are coming straight at you.
So to really break this down, the board is made up of a whole bunch of tiles that look like streets and buildings. Now, zombies show up randomly every turn from various locations. Just wander onto the board and they kind of chase you down slowly in their zombie way. But equally, there is generally a number of zombies in every house. So if you open the door to a building that has not been opened before, you then have to see how many zombies are in every single room of that building. Moral of the story. So often the objectives of the game are in, they slightly counter that. I'm like, just stay away from the zombies. But no, to win the game, first of all, you've got to go and search rooms for maybe some supplies, or go grab some objectives, or med supplies or something. It doesn't really matter, right? But you've got to go into these places, find the things that you need to find, do the things that you need to do, and then escape, which is spelled exactly the same way as escape.
Run away. Still stuck
Um,
on the Monty Python stuff. Anyway.
yeah, I was about to say. I've got to find Nemo. Where are you? Come on, catch up. Um,
So we played. We had a couple of people. We played a couple of missions, and this is second edition. So out of pure curiosity, and from the fact that, come on, completely sucking me dry with the amount of cool stuff that they are producing for Zombiecide, especially second edition. I bit the bullet and bought second edition, even though I had first edition. And we gave that a go. And there are a number of rule changes from first to second. The basic premise of the game is exactly the same. But a couple of key things is you used to have 2 health. And as soon as you took your second point of damage, so third point of damage, you were dead in first edition. And each point of damage, you would lose one of your 5 inventory slots. 5 or 4?
Either way, I never really understood I understood the game mechanic, but I never understood it struggled. I struggled to find like an immersive reason for that.
Yeah, I was the same. Like, why am I I've gotten scratched by a zombie or whatever, and why does that mean I have to drop a bag of rice?
Correct. When I can still function with both of my limbs, with weapons in both of them, like it's just the amount of stuff I can carry that changes.
Yes. So that was first ed. A second edition, they have given everybody 1 extra bit of health. So all adult survivors have 3 health now.
It's easier. Huzzah.
There are kid survivors as well. They have your 2 health, which is what you used to for the other one. But they also get a skill where they can get away from zombies a lot easier. So there are pros and cons to playing a kid character.
Yeah. Who would have thought you can kind of, sneak a little bit better, but you die a little bit faster.
Yeah. When you take damage, no longer lose equipment, which is great, because that aspect, as we said, didn't seem to make much sense, really. The other 2 key differences, which I'll mention, is in first edition, you break open a door and look into a 4-room house. You would then draw cards to find out how many zombies were in each of those 4 rooms. In second ed, you are only spawning them in the so-called dark rooms. So there are some rooms which are darker than others in the houses, and they are the rooms that spawn zombies. So not only are you not spawning zombies in every room, but those rooms are dark. It's harder to see, which makes more sense for a zombie apocalypse or a zombie movie or whatever, however you want to rule this off as.
Wonder why zombies are scared of the light. Like, I don't know. Not being a full zombie aficionado, I didn't think they'd give any shits how dark the room was.
You never know.
As far as a game mechanic, it works pretty shiny, because the second half of this, which is the bit that I like, is normally I can shoot a zombie. And if I'm sitting in one square on the board, I can shoot a zombie potentially in the next square of the board, depending on what my weapon is. If I have something I can shoot with, I cannot throw my baseball bat a square
or pan,
or any of those kind of things. It's glorious. Yeah, I can't pan a zombie from a square away. But if the zombies are in the dark rooms, because it's dark, they harder to hit. So all of a sudden, you can choose to stay back and wait for the zombies to come to you, but then the zombies are closer. You can choose to go into the dark and play the zombies in their natural habitat, or you can stand back in the light and try and pick off the zombies in the dark, but they're in the dark and you can't see them real good, so you do miss a lot.
That I liked. I really liked.
Mm.
Because, I mean, it made more sense for there not to be every single room full of zombies. I mean, and there's no doubt some buildings that'll be full of dark rooms and thus full of zombies. But every single house in First Ed that you open up, or every building,
It was
could be
unusual to get.
chock-a-block.
Yeah. It was unusual to get rooms with no zombies.
Yeah.
And
Only if
often
you
there was
drew a
more than
specific
one.
card. Yes.
Yeah.
And then they all come at you, and yeah. Anyway, the other thing that's changed while we're talking on shooting is the rules have changed for shooting into melee as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it used to be that if you rolled hits when you were shooting into a melee combat, so you're standing a square away, you've got a pistol, and you're shooting into at a zombie that is attacking your best friend in the square next to you. In First Ed, those hits would count against your best friend first. And then when he was dead, then you'd start hitting the zombie.
Because that's who we hit first. We always aim for the friends, especially when they're surrounded by zombies. Like, it's just the merciful thing to do.
Yeah, I guess. But now it's more, if you miss, then you're hitting your friend.
Which
So it
I
makes more
like.
sense.
We are aiming for the zombies. If we don't get the zombies, accidents happen. But it doesn't seem like we're intentionally firing on our friends rather than trying to save them.
Let's just assume that if we're this far into a zombie apocalypse and we're still alive and not a zombie, that we've probably fired a gun somewhat decently. Broad assumption, I know, but it kind of makes sense.
You've had to have a fair old crack.
Yeah.
The third thing that I think we're up to 3. I don't care. The one that I really liked. So in the first edition, to win the game, somebody, generally, one of the survivors needed to exit the board, do all the things that you need to do, and then escape. And often playing first edition, the way that you did that, it was to sacrifice somebody else in the team and feed them to the zombies while you made a hasty getaway.
I seem to remember, it was way back in Jan that we were playing First Ed. It was on my birthday, and I seem to remember sacrificing myself in the last mission to hold off the wall of zombies that were coming at us. And my awesome, cool priest-looking guy just went down in glory as everybody else escaped.
Yeah. Which worked well for us. We won the game. You died. Everybody wins. Yeah. I mean, I feel like he was a priest. He probably enjoyed it. The change here, though, with second edition is to win the game. Everybody, all the survivors, everybody playing needs to get out. There's no more, either just pushing someone into the lion's den and making a dash for it. It's no more I'll survive as long as I can run faster than the next guy. And there's no more being a martyr. You all out or everybody's done. And it makes it harder.
It does.
Oh, it's juicy though.
Oh, it makes more sense in the way. I mean, that's why they've given us more health. But there's this caveat that everybody, as soon as somebody dies, everybody loses. Game over, mission over, and it adds so much more to the game, I think.
Yeah, it just ups the stakes for everybody. Whereas, often late game first edition, it'd be like, all right, well, how can we collectively win the game? And it's by, all right, this person needs to die, and then that person needs to die, and then you escape, and then we all win.
Yeah.
And it kind of made light of those sacrifices. There is no more.
There's no more
No more.
sacrifices. Everybody goes down on a sinking ship together. So, yeah, that's pretty much the differences. The game as a whole more or less plays exactly the same apart from those sort of differences. But there are more missions, more dudes to play as, more zombies.
I will say I did think that there were more zombies. I've played a fair amount of season 1,
Mhm.
and I feel like season 2 had more zombies on the board at any given time.
Even though we're not spawning as many in the houses.
Yeah, I
Mm.
feel like the decks have changed a little bit.
Very possible. I have not compared.
Neither, but
Anyway, 6 of us got together. We played 3 missions. We played the mission number 0, which is the tutorial, which is basically everybody needs to get all the objectives and the pimp weapon crates. These are new too, pimp weapon crates.
the
They're
pimp wagon.
printed on the board, so they're in pretty much every game that you're going to play, and they give you cool stuff. Cool weapons. Used to find them only in the pimp wagons when first aired.
Yeah, or was there ones where they sometimes had them in like the little, because they had the basement tile thing where you go down the trapdoor and you go into the other room, and sometimes they had funky weapons in them too.
Don't know if I ever got that far. I always used to, when I played Zombiecide, I always used to play the first couple of missions over and over and over again because it was different people, usually.
Yeah. I remember one where you went down a little trapdoor and it went into a room, and then I think that had some funky in it. Anyway, same.
Yeah, first mission is like 2 tiles, right? Fairly close. And get the boxes, the objectives, and get out. Nice and easy. No problems. We smashed that one.
It's like we've done it before.
Yeah. Mission number 1, which was the second mission for the night, upped it from 2 boards to 9, which is the standard for every other game onwards.
That's a significant increase.
It is slightly significant. It's a much bigger board. We had to search pretty much as many rooms as we could find to get a bag of rice, canned food, or water. 3 of those. We needed 3 of any of them.
I like the vagary of canned food.
Yes.
Like what food?
Well, it's probably missing its label.
It absolutely was, but we don't check. It could be PAL.
Mm-hmm.
But we're really hoping for peaches. It's the moral of the story.
What was that in? I was just thinking that. Unlabeled stuff, which was peaches. That was in a movie, wasn't it?
I'm going to say yes.
Oh, all right. Somebody let me know. Somebody messaged me that. They found unlabeled canned stuff. It was probably a post-apocalyptic movie of some sort, and they opened it up and it was peaches, and they were very happy. Anyway, 3 of those and get an objective token with each survivor, and then get the hell out. We completed that one.
Yay.
It was a little bit harder than the first one.
Yes, that was definitely the experience.
Yes. Then, of course, we moved on to the third mission. And this one, we needed to arm the team. So every survivor needed to open a pimp weapon case and get a cool weapon. And then everybody needed to get out.
Importantly, in Cormac McCarthy's The Road, 2006, a man and a boy discover a cache of supplies in which canned peaches are a noticeable delicacy, making a respite and return to normality amongst the carnage of the new world.
The Road. Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. That was legitimately the first thing that came up.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
This is peaches. All right.
I mean, they come in a can. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown. Yeah, if I had my little way, I'd eat peaches every day.
Oh god. Moving on. We're past the peaches. We're on to pimp weapons.
What a
Can you make a song
combination.
out of pimp weapons? Yeah, out of pimp weapons.
I mean,
No, actually
surely.
don't. But so yeah, we all needed a pimp weapon, and we needed to get out. And this one, I don't know, we got about halfway, didn't we?
Look, yeah.
We started doing well, and then all of a sudden things went shit very quickly. And I think we lost 2 people in the same round, and that was it.
Yeah, it went south real quick, didn't
Mm.
it? All right, I've
It's
got
one of those
weapons.
ones where like the runners or something went twice. We got one of those cards, and everything went to hell. So,
Yeah.
but overall, like really, really fun. Planning on doing this again soon, so probably put the word out on Discord when we can. It'll be after Thoughtless Bowl when we can get another session going and do some more
Then we start
Zombiecide.
booking in some semi-regular type
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Okay.
Getting
So
close to
import
Christmas, perfect time to do it.
whilst we're doing a Dungeon Bowl knockout.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
I'm 100% on board.
Oh,
So
look, I'm
I
only going to
have
last one round in Dungeon Bowl.
oh, you and me both, but that's fine. So I have Murder Weapons by Project Pimp. I have Protected by the Nina Weapon by Shorty Pimp.
None
And
of
I
these, mate.
have Weapons of Mass Hypnosis by Alien Pimp.
Yeah, no.
It's all I got.
No, I don't even know what they are.
Neither do I. This doesn't sound like music at all.
Sounds like that newfangled music. I used to be into what was hip.
And they changed what it was. And what's it now is new and scary to me.
That's it. Zombiecide, definitely recommend. And
It
like
is
I said,
legitimately that game, right? That you could bust out just with your family and no one is going to be lost about confused, and it's not the thing where you're like your brother-in-law is going to be like, what's going on? I don't understand. Why have you done a thing? Why does that? How come he's got none of that? It is simple to play. After the tutorial, which as I say goes for super quick, is people get it.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing, I think, is that the fun from this comes into the co-opness.
Yes.
The game does its game thing. That's full cool. The actual mechanics are relatively simple, and then it's okay. We collectively can do these things. What is the best way for us as a collective to achieve the objectives? And as the game kind of changes the scenario, you have to adapt and negotiate and talk through it and kind of, oh, if I do this, you could do this. Well, how come you do that? And then you give me your weapons and I'll do this thing and then I'll throw them to this guy and he'll do a thing. And like that's where the fun is. But that is just the negotiation and the conversation around the table. That isn't even really part of the game.
No.
But that's the fun bit. So honestly, it's one of those that gets everybody involved, and it gets everybody involved regardless of experience level. As you could play it with hardcore nerds, and you can play it with your family, and you're all going to have fun regardless. And that's where I really think the joy of Zombiecide. They've just nailed that line.
Mm-hmm. It is so, yeah. We had 6 of us. I think there were 2 players that had never played it before, and like that they were in.
Yeah.
You know, and it being Come On Miniatures, there are so many things that you can get. There's Second Ed hasn't been out overly long, I don't think. There's already 2 box expansions for it, and they're releasing new characters. So on the way is Batman Dark Knight's Metal. So Batman Who Laughs, and all the various evil Batman. They're all coming out as minis that you can play Zombiecide with. The one that they did after that was The Boys. So straight from the comic.
When you say they're coming, I mean you mean to your house because you've already ordered them?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad we just clarified that.
Yeah, those ones I'm getting through work. The one that's currently up for pre-order at the moment, which I'm very, very tempted by, is Iron Maiden. So all the various Eddies from, Peace of Mind, Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, all those iconic Eddies characters that you can play Zombiecide with.
What Iron Maiden song makes a bad kind of theme tune to Zombiecide? Like, there are none. They all work. Fear of the Dark, The Trooper, Number of the Beast. Like, I mean, I'm just going through the headlines, the singles here, but hey, there's no bad.
Be Quick or Be Dead. Mother Russia, I don't think works, but anyway.
Yeah, fair call.
Alexander the Great. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
That's fine. It's just one of the abominations.
All right.
Give him a hat.
So many cool minis that you can get for this game, which is ironic given the name of the company that makes them. But Zombiecide, well worth it. Really enjoy it. If you're on our Discord, check out, and there will be a post coming soon about the next session, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving on. We're not going back. We're not doing the tutorial again. We failed in mission 3. Shall we do it again? Shall we try and finish it, or do we go straight on to 4?
I mean, I feel like we should. It depends.
Sounds like
really
a
here.
So,
nah, screw that. That gives too many people opinions. Democracy doesn't work. So, I suppose the question here is: does the completionist in you require us to finish all of the missions?
Nope, not with Zombiecide, because, like I said, there are. I always kept having to play the same missions over and over again as I taught more people. There are 26 missions in this book.
Right. So what I'm hearing is we just play each one once, and then when we can be bothered, we go back and replay the ones that we didn't succeed in.
Yeah, it seems fair. I like it. Anyway,
take that, democracy.
Yes. Screw you, democracy. Have you played anything else? Let's skip Blood Bowl. Have you played anything else?
I've played more Blood Bowl.
Yeah, we're skipping that. Next episode we'll do a league breakdown. Actually, next episode will possibly be a Thoughtless Bowl wrap up.
I mean, sevens. Does that count?
That's Blood Bowl.
Yes. Did I mention Blood Bowl? No, I have been basically doing it. There's sneaky other little projects kind of in the wings, but fundamentally, Blood Bowl has been where I had a laser-like focus.
No, fair call. I have been playing another game which I wanted to mention as well. So
I see.
Yes, 2 games. What's going on? So me and a couple of friends get together roughly every 2 weeks, and we are currently going through Hero Quest. Was that an intake of breath because you were about to say something, or was it
No, I was just adding drama, to be honest.
Fake drama. That's what we need for the listeners.
I feel like now we need to do like the Law and Order thing. So every time we say Hero Quest, it's like a dun 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 dun.
Hero Quest, the old game. Stop that! I wasn't ready for that one. So Hero Quest.
So you're questing 4 heroes? Is that the moral?
No, we
are
the heroes on the quest. Multiple quests, in fact.
Is there 4 heroes? Because you could be 4 heroes questing 4 heroes. But if there's more than that, it doesn't really work. It was like 6 heroes questing for you.
Tinder or something.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Swipe it left.
Quite. The original game came out way back when I was a kid, and me and my brother used to play it and loved it to death. And they have re-released it, and it is pretty much the same sort of game. They've renamed some of the characters to try and drop a bit of the GW. Yeah, not rights, I suppose, but yeah, the GW-ness. Let's go with that. But they have added more. So the old edition had 4 characters you could be. There was the wizard, there was the elf, there was the barbarian, and there was the dwarf.
Okay, none of which are particularly GW-ness.
No. I mean, they weren't the ones that were named. I think there was a Chaos Warrior, for example, which is now a Dread Warrior.
Right. Yeah, okay, sure.
The Fenir, F-E-N-I-R.
Oh, the Firmir. Yeah.
Firmir, yeah. That was an old GW race, wasn't it? That's just called an abomination now.
Squatted those.
Anyway, that sort of stuff's going on. So you choose a character, you jump into this world or dungeon or whatever the case may be, depending on the quest. The board is exactly the same, but the rooms will differ from game to game. So you won't use all of the rooms in all of the games. You will just have the GM or the person, either the person controlling the monsters, so you can have one person controlling, or you can use an app. And the app I have actually used, I played the first mission with my brother using the app, and it was actually quite well done.
Like, better, let's be clear, than... What I'm hearing is you've got a suboptimal GM controlling the monsters there, and we just need to replace him with an app.
Oh, he might be listening. Don't say that.
Doubtful.
Actually, he'll probably agree with it. Anyway, so we've been going through. I think we've done 11 missions now out of the original book. So same 4 of us playing the characters. We started off with the basics. We started off with the elf, the dwarf, the barbarian, and the wizard. The elf gets 3 spells and is reasonably decent at fighting. So the wizard gets 9 spells and is not decent at fighting. Surprise. And those spells are interesting because, like, you can only use each of those spells once per game.
Dun, dun, dun.
So it becomes a real thing. Like, for example, there's a genie card, which is quite powerful, but once you use it, it is gone. And you cannot use it again, so it's a matter of saving it for the right moment. There are healing spells, but again, you've got to use them at the right moment because, you use them too early, you've wasted them, and then somebody's in a world of hurt. The barbarian, very good at fighting. Dwarf, very good at fighting as well. Not quite up to the barbarian, but also can disarm traps. So the 4 of them standard ones. We have progressed through, like I said, 11 of these missions. We have lost the wizard. I don't know. I lost track of how many times.
How many missions?
11.
Okay. Yeah, so
we're probably looking 5.
Okay.
5 or 6 times the wizard has died.
Yeah.
The elf once, but we managed to resurrect the elf in that game, so I don't think that technically counts. We lost the dwarf a couple of missions in, and then picked up a bard. So the dwarf became a bard, which is a brand new character. Bard gets a couple of songs that he can sing. He does a bit of fighting, but the interesting thing is that, for example, one of the songs is a song of inspiration, which gives whoever you sing it to 1 extra combat dice on their next roll to hit.
Are you making whoever is playing the bard actually sing a song of inspiration at the point in time that is played?
I'm pretty sure because it's Moose, he would do it, so no.
I mean, at the moment, all I have going through my head is Scanlan's hand, but...
yeah. So the dwarf has now become an orc bard. In the last mission, we did lose the orc bard as well.
An orc bard, I love it already.
Yeah, so mission previous to that, we lost the wizard again. So the wizard has now become a warlock. The orc bard we lost in the last mission, and has now, because we are a equal opportunity group of heroes and also very racist, we've just picked up another orc bard who looks exactly the same. The barbarian who I am playing, touch wood, haven't died yet. Yet I've beefed him up. He's got a decent amount of equipment and stuff, so he's now rolling like 4 dice in attack and 5 in defense when he started off with 3 in attack and 2 in defense. But yeah, look, the Hero Quest is so much fun. Like it brings back the memories of playing as a kid with my brother, and yeah, it's fun having that regular group that you get together with, and just play a game or two. And some of these missions are actually absolutely hilarious. We played a mission not last time, the time before, where it was like a wizard's secret lair where he was hiding his gold. And as soon as somebody walked through the first door, they got teleported into a random room. We had to roll dice every time we walked through a door to find out where the hell we were ending up, which made it very difficult to stay together, and thus very difficult to protect everyone. So
The wizard died.
The wizard died, yes. The elf died first in that one, but like I said, we resurrected her, and then the wizard died, and we had used the resurrection once-off potion that we had. Incidentally, how you have a potion of resurrection, I do not know. Like, do you just pour it down the throat of the dead person? How do they swallow it?
Do you have to drink the potion? It could just be a topical solution.
So you're saying instead of swallowing, we could just splash it all over their face?
I feel like, I mean, yeah, that's... so the moral of the story here is there's a couple of things here. Is firstly, a topical... What we've learned here is that potion is kind of a generic term for some kind of healing medical thing. And it could actually be a resurrection cream.
Wouldn't it be like balm of resurrection?
Yeah, that's all right. That's where I'm at. That'd be fun. Yeah. The second question is, if you do have to actually consume it, right? So it is poured down the throat. It would then be digested. What if that person then peed on the next person to die?
We didn't try that.
Oh,
man. You're quite right. We should have done that.
Absolutely should have done that.
No. But then yeah, we wouldn't have a warlock now. We'd have, I don't know, still the 5th edition of the wizard.
Yeah. And I do like they get the canon situation here where the wizards died, made some kind of pact with, and then being kind of reborn rather than having a whole new character come along. That's less fun.
The thing is, when you die in this game, if there's nobody around you when you die, right? So if you're, for example, teleport into a room with a couple of Dread Warriors. I keep on going to say Chaos Warriors because
that's what they are. We know it. Let's just call them.
And they promptly annihilate you. They're going to loot your shit. So you lose everything that you were carrying. And we've gone through, like I said, 11 missions. We've picked up some decent stuff. So, but if somebody's there, then they can pick up the stuff. Yes. So, but they've got to be in the same room. So when the bard died last game, one of us happened to be in the same corridor, see him go down, grab his stuff, and we've just palmed that on to the next orc bard that we've seen, and he's decided to join us. So it's like nothing happened at all.
I even feel like this orc bard hasn't actually realized what's going. He just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and you guys haven't even noticed that it's a different orc. And he's like, "Oh, you dropped all this shit here. Come this way," and he's just a little bit dazed and confused, and he's following blindly.
What are you talking about? My name is not George.
They keep calling me that.
But he's a bard. Like he's built his reputation on being, a showman and being nice to all. He's not going to correct us.
No, You know that thing where you've forgotten somebody's name, but you've been around them for too long now that it's kind of awkward to ask, so you
Mhm.
just never use it? Yeah, I feel like it's in that situation there where it's now like, oh, mate, yeah, do you know what's going on?
I had
Hey,
this
you.
yes, I had this friend at uni, and she thought my name was Chris for some reason. So she kept on calling me Chris. And I never corrected her. And 6 months down the track, we were 6 months into first year uni. And this is funny because I spent a bit of time with her just one on one, but most of the time I was with other people. And about 6 months down the track, she called me Brett. I'm like, hang on, what did you call me? And she said, oh, sorry, you just look like a Brett. I'm like, I am a Brett. I got hit for that. I remember that.
That is
Oh,
glorious.
dear. Anyway,
That
Hero
is,
Quest.
yeah.
Zombicide, Hero Quest. Two awesome games. Co-op for the most part, unless you've got a guy doing the evil monster stuff for Hero Quest. But yeah, so much fun. Both of them so much fun.
And it
Heartily
just,
endorse.
the only downside to either or both is that you then have to coordinate a group of people to be available at the same place at the same time, preferably in a semi-regular basis.
Hero Quest, we're doing that, and I think we're getting a bit tricky because, for example, tomorrow is Hero Quest night, which two of us can't make. So we're going to have to postpone. We have done a couple of sessions where one person has not been able to make it, but on the whole, we're trying to get it fairly regularly. Zombicide, 6 players. So as long as you and I are there, I don't care who the other 4 are. We can
The
just
other
rotate through the
the
Discord people.
other piece here, though, is that there is no continuity and character progression between missions, right? So
True.
you rock up, you play. It's almost like a new. They're kind of like shorts. It's a separate.
Yeah.
It's like Love, Death, and Robots. It's a whole new episode every time. It's new characters. It's new everything. It's just in the same world. So I feel like it works for Zombiecide.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like that is the case also.
But
Very
still,
cool.
getting
Still,
a group of people at one place in one time, it's a thing.
it's a thing. So I think that's probably about it for this episode.
Yes.
We've talked a little bit. Thoughtless Bowl, Saturday week, Saturday the 12th. Throw the dice.
So goddamn close. I
So
can
close.
smell
We
it.
are sold out. I'm so impressed about that. It's
Yeah.
probably double our biggest one yet.
It's close to, yeah. If not,
Yes.
I haven't.
And we are sold out with a waiting list. If you are interested, jump on the waiting list. That's on the Facebook event. But otherwise, if you're not coming and you're at all interested, follow Facebook. Jump in our Discord. I'll be doing regular updates each round on who's playing who and who's winning, who's losing, who's cheating and got 4 giants on their team, that sort of stuff.
I feel like that would
Yeah.
be noticeable. That would be difficult to pass off.
Props for trying, though.
Oh yeah, good effort.
We also have a competition.
We do. It
Yes.
is a mammoth bumper. Like it's like the Christmas catalog of competitions.
It is. It literally is because it's sort of like a Christmas present for somebody at the end. So we are giving away one of the games that we've played probably the most in the last year. So Blood Bowl, obviously, Dungeon Bowl, or Marvel Crisis Protocol. You get to choose. Whoever wins gets to choose which one of those they would like. It's pretty much like and tag a homie, tag a friend, tag an acquaintance, tag a family member, tag your girlfriend who has no interest in what you're doing.
Tag. Oh, yeah, to be
Um,
fair, she does that to me all the time for shit that I don't want. So I feel like it's only fair
that's true.
occasionally to do that back. Tag the second profile that you've created for the purposes of tagging a friend in competitions.
Yeah, any of those will do. Like and tag somebody. That gets you an entry. But we are doing this for you guys as a bit of a thank you for all the support that you guys have given us throughout the year. So if you have entered one of our painting competitions this year, you will also get an extra entry as long as you like and tag somebody in the first place.
You need to actually do the thing, guys.
Yeah,
You
do the
can't
thing.
rest on your laurels.
Then you
But
get
you-
the extra stuff. Then you get
Yeah.
the women. Then you get the power. Then you get the shortbread. I don't know. So
It's
that'll
nearly
get
shortbread season. I
it
reckon I
is.
saw Danish butter cookies in Aldi the other day, and I was a little bit excited.
I saw a Christmas ad this evening on TV.
I mean, to be fair, I have been eating mince pies since July, so you know those things are the best.
Yep. If you have been or are coming to one of our Blood Bowl events this year, you will get an extra entry. And if you are a Patreon, so this is, I mean, all our giveaways are funded by our patrons, some people that are nice enough to throw us a couple of bucks every month so that we can do this sort of stuff, which we really appreciate. If you are a Patreon for the months of November and or December on specific tiers, which is pretty much everything but the bottom tier, you will get one extra entry for every month that you're a Patreon. So one for November, one for December if you do both. So what's that? Liking, tournament, painting comp, Patreon. That's like 5 possible entries that you could have into this.
That's a lot of chances.
It is a lot of chances, and still, what I say is, it could be the one person with one entry. That
We have
always
seen
happens.
that. We have seen that time and time again.
Yes.
So look, absolutely. But I mean, I suppose the cool thing is, we've had a bunch of people support all the stuff that we've tried to do over the last 12 months between painting comps and Blood Bowl tournaments and whatever else. And we just want to, and also the Patreons are the guys funding this damn thing. So I think it's only fair that they get an extra shot at it. But let's see who Stephen Bradbury's this one.
That's it. We also do a monthly giveaway for patrons as well. So if you are a Patreon, you will get entry into our free monthly giveaway, which is just for you. Congrats to Penny for winning October's one. I just ran that earlier this evening live on Twitch, and his name came up. So we will be shooting you across some exclusive stuff. Exclusives. Now that we've finally got the exclusive stuff that I was waiting on.
Yes, we do. Oh, that's right.
Yes. So thank you to all our Patreons. We have a new one as of yesterday. So thank you for jumping on board, Anthony. It is much appreciated. Even though you're not doing it for the entries, you just wanted to buy us a coffee, which is not what we spend the money on anyway.
So in respect of that, I will allow you to also purchase me coffee.
Don't buy me a coffee.
No, buy him one, because then I will drink it and everybody wins.
Buy one just for me, and then I'll give it to Jace because I don't drink coffee.
Everybody wins.
Yeah, done. Thanks for listening. Thanks for everyone for listening to 5,000 downloads. That's huge for something crappy that we run when we feel like it. That's just as unbelievable. So thank you guys. Thank you for all your support. If you haven't, give us a follow on Facebook, Spotify, Podbean, Twitch, OnlyFans. Jump in our Discord. That's where the magic happens.
It's been going off today. Last few days, it's been going bonkers. I got nothing done at work today.
That's great, isn't it?
It's so good. Thank you. That's really why we're doing this.
To avoid work. It seems like the thing to do. Thank you for listening, guys. We will catch you next time.
Probably. Later.
Laters.
Thoughtless, casual gaming. Thoughtless, casual gaming. Thoughtless, casual gaming. Thoughtless.